Just one more win, and the Bolts will tie their all-time mark for victories in a season. Tonight, they'll look to reach that goal against their intrastate rival Panthers. Florida clawing for points, trying to stay alive in the postseason picture. Every game important. Lightning and Panthers from downtown Tampa, next on Sun Sports. Lightning's march to the top of the NHL standings continues through an extended homestand at Amalie Arena as they try to hold off the charging Panthers of South Florida in their first meeting in Tampa since opening night here on Sun Sports. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our coverage tonight here in Sun Sports, along with the Chief, Bobby Taylor, Rick Peckham with you, joined by Paul Kennedy, Chris Stingman, and Michelle Gingras. As the Lightning come in with 45 wins, they beat the Panthers tonight. They'll tie the franchise record of 46 wins in a single season with plenty of time to go, Chief. But the last time they played the Panthers, they lost in South Florida 4-3 at the beginning of this month. Since then, Tampa Bay's gone 7-1-1. Steven Stamkos has been in the middle of all of that, of course, but leading in many ways.
Boy, has he ever. I mean, obviously, we know his ability to score goals, and he has done that over the last 11 games. 8 goals in those 11 games to go with 11 points. But what's really been impressive to me is his defensive play. He's been +8 in those 11 games, and he's really made sure that he's on both sides. The right side of the puck, he comes back very hard. He's been very good defensively, making sure that he makes the right plays in the defensive zone. It's been a great example for this young club.
Well, the Panthers making a charge to get into the playoffs, 5 points out of a playoff spot right now in the Eastern Conference race for a wild card spot. Of course, Jaromir Jagr has helped his team turn it around, and young scorer Brandon Peary has been very strong, Chief, and Jagr's given him the advice, shoot the puck.
And he does that as well. Boy, he's really been hot for this club here. They've struggled to score goals. They're only +1 on 5-on-5, and he's had 14 goals in 20 games. Jagr has just been a real find for them. Not only has he played well and produced well as far as points are concerned, as you see there, but he's really helped the younger players like Huberdeau and Barkov to really start to see how much work it is and what you have to do to prepare yourself to play in the league and be good in this league for a long period of time.
Cedric Paquette is close to being ready to come back, but not in the lineup tonight. Same lineup, same line combinations. One difference, and that's in goal. Andrei Vasilevsky has won 2 of his last 3 games. Hard luck loser in the 1 defeat against the Winnipeg Jets, and he goes against a terrific veteran. Roberto Luongo is closing in on 400 career wins. Tampa Bay Lightning Hockey and Sun Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Bank United. Bank United offers a variety of checking, savings, and money market accounts. Visit any Tampa location to open your account today. By Wesley Chapel Toyota and Wesley Chapel Honda. Home of the lifetime warranty. I-75 North, exit 279. And by your Tampa Bay area BMW Centers. Welcome back to Amalie Arena. Lightning and Panthers set to go. And also ready to go is Paul Kennedy.
Better believe it, Rick. The top goal-scoring team in the entire NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning, ready to go again this evening. In the past 3 games, this electrifying attack has scored 12 goals in a sweep of Montreal, Detroit, and Boston. 9 different skaters with goals. Stamkos with 3. Strawman in the blue line added 4. And J.T. Brown, the #1 star against Boston. Steven Stamkos says it's a 4-wave attack.
That's been our strength all season, is our depth and the ability for every line to produce. And I think that's what makes our team such a tough matchup for the other teams is we can throw 4 lines at you and not only play well defensively, but have a scoring threat on each line. And, you know, last game was a perfect example of that, obviously, with Brownie and Vladdy stepping up, and we need that.
All 4 lines and the defensive core contributing to Tampa Bay's offensive armada that takes aim at Florida tonight. Rick Chief in our game next on Sun Sports.
Tonight's Lightning broadcast on Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW Centers.
Let's look at tonight's starting goaltenders delivered by Papa John's Pizza. And you see the 35-year-old veteran Roberto Luongo on the left. The 20-year-old rookie Andrei Vasilevsky hasn't played in 3. And he was the third star in that game that he lost 2-1 to Winnipeg.
Paul Dvorsky working with Wes McCauley tonight. 2 veteran referees with Derek Amell, Pierre Rasico, 2 veteran linesmen. And the Lightning will start with Valtteri Filppula's line as they did the other day against Boston. Ryan Callahan now on that right side. And Vlad Domestikov on left wing. Victor Hedman, Anton Strawman paired defensively. Lightning open the game with a puck. It's played back to center by Alexander Barkov. Taken back by Callahan. He'll dump it in. Eric Branson pressured here by Filppula. Callahan steals the pass. Back to Filppula. Back to Callahan. He fires and he sends it over the shoulder of Luongo. Held in. Hedman's try deflected right to Barkov. And out for Jonathan Huberdeau. And of course Jaromir Jagr rounds out this line. They've combined for 22 points in 11 games together since Jagr came on board from the Devils. Strowman back behind the Lightning net. Here comes Jonathan Drouin. Ahead for Steven Stamkos. Alex Killorn, of course, working as the third member of this line. And the Panthers come up with a puck. They slide it back into the Lightning zone. Andre Schuster in the Lightning defense. Moving it towards Stamkos. Stamkos works it free. Bounces in front for Schuster. Chased by Dave Bolin. Gets it to that red line and he'll shove it in. Dmitry Kulikov up the boards. Held in by Schuster. Gets by him as he tried to keep it down the boards. It rolled past him and his partner Mark Barberio back there for it.
Good start right now, Rick. They're getting in there very quickly.
Panthers have Aaron Ekblad, the 19-year-old defenseman, first pick in the draft last summer, number 5, working with Brian Campbell. Jimmy Hayes leaving that puck on the boards. Dmitry Kucherov getting to it out in front. Tyler Johnson trying to drop it back for Andre Palat. And the Panthers spoil that plan. It's sent down the ice. We'll get an icing called against Florida. Chris Stingman joining us tonight between the benches. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. And a good start to this game. And you got the Florida Panthers team that's just trying to stay in the playoff race. And high-scoring Tampa Bay Lightning, who Roberto Luongo and Ned, they got to get second and third and fourth shots and get traffic in front of them if they're going to score some goals.
He's a very big goalie. He's very flexible as well. So you're right, Dish. That first shot he usually eats up.
He missed 6 games with a shoulder injury. Has come back a couple of starts where he gave up just 1 goal. So he's found his form very quickly. Here's Brian Boyle. Had it chopped away. Picked up by J.T. Brown, one of the scoring stars Paul was talking about from the win over Boston on Sunday. And the play broken up by Vincent Trocheck, who is filling in for Nick Bjugstad. He's out with a lower body injury day-to-day. Here's Boyle. He is checked there, but Strawman has it back for the Lightning. Tipped in by Brown.
Boy, quick changes from both clubs. You want to get everybody into the feel of the game early.
Puck fired in by Derek McKenzie. He centers this 4th line for Gerard Gallant. And Domestikov out to center. Luongo stays put. Filppula and Eric Branson over for it. Here comes Domestikov, paired off with another veteran. They've got plenty of them on this team, as well as young talent. Willie Mitchell, backhanded on goal. Luongo, a save there on Domestikov. He tried to swat home a bouncing puck and couldn't make contact. Barberio contains the play for the Lightning. Thomas Kopecky, checked by Schuster. Filppula fires off the stick of Callahan. He directed it wide. Tried to fire in front. That's blocked. Still retrieved by Filppula. Schuster in behind to Callahan. Back out to Barberio. Looks for the opportunity for the wrist shot. That was smothered there by Barkov. Holds off Barberio. Roars back in toward Vasilevsky, but coming back was Callahan to catch him.
Boy, what a nice play, too. He just made sure that he took him right out of the play. Eliminate him. Don't give him an opportunity to handle that puck.
Kulikov gets it ahead for Jagr. And the play offside at that Lightning blue line.
Hey, John Cooper behind the bench. Let's take a look at our Ford's keys to the game. Brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers. Second shots on Luongo, like Chris talked about. You got to get those rebound opportunities, very similar to what we did against Price. And you see Gerard Gallant, his first year with the Panthers, did a tremendous job with this club. They had so many one-goal games.
Oops. Here's a steal. Picked up by Jágr, cutting in for the angle. Coming back was Stralman to tie him up. It's centered in front, poked away by Vasilevsky, and Stamkos hurries back the other direction with Drouin. Going to pick up the late man. It's Hedman, beating it out of Killorn. Gets to it, and a sliding block by Kulikov. Stralman shot floats in on Luongo, and he'll glove it and hang on.
Well, I'll tell you what, you don't see Stralman make those mistakes too often, but he was trying to control a hold on it, and it resulted in a nice defensive play, created an offensive opportunity. And the Lightning making a couple of passes. Now Florida to get back and to get in position, and Kulikov making the block on that shot by Killorn.
A couple good back checks by the Tampa Bay Lightning, create some offense off of that, but you like to see the guy gets a puck in the slot there to take that shot.
Ekblad bouncing it back to the Lightning zone. You see Jokinen in on Schuster, and it's passed out in front, just deflected away from Boland. As Nikita Kucherov trying to help out there. There's the shot for the point, knocked down. Jokinen couldn't get it on goal. Schuster blocked that, and the Lightning tip it back down the ice. Ekblad leaving that puck for Jokinen. And Ekblad is on track to own all the scoring records for rookie defensemen in this franchise's history, Chief. But the number that jumps out at you is a +9.
Oh, I know. And then we talked about, Ricky, when we said that that's pretty impressive because this club's only got a +1 differential, goal differential in 5-on-5 play.
They've improved considerably by 0.6 of a goal on average from last year's team. But still, as Chris has pointed out, that they struggle to score goals. So here's a pass out in front, dispensed with by Garrison back to the corner. And Ekblad has certainly opened a lot of eyes around the league with his performance. Pass coming back to the point.
Too many men.
They resisted playing that puck to avoid the penalty. Morrow in front to Brown. They score! Morrow jammed it in on the second try. And the Lightning take advantage of some miscommunication and take a 1-0 lead.
Real head shot. Again, it's J.T. Brown's speed that has set this up. Morrow getting there. They shoved right at it, and all Morrow did was lift it up to hit the back of Luongo's pad and have it rebound into the net. So big goal for this line again.
Good job on the forecheck, and not really a miscommunication, but a couple Panthers defensemen trying to change. You don't want to play that puck and get that too many men opportunity, and a good job by the Lightning getting in on that forecheck.
Pass came from the corner with a full expectation, someone who's going to be there. And Campbell had peeled off, gone to the bench on a change. So they did not connect the wires on that one. Here's a shot that missed the net. Kulikov trying to get there. Hedman with it. Working it free to Drouin. Brown the only assist on the goal. He's coming off a 1-goal, 1-assist game against the Bruins. And Brendan Morrow, third goal of the season. At 5:49, Stamkos lifting it in. Scotty Upshall after it. He's challenged in there by Drouin. Here's Killorn. Out in front. Trying to connect with Drouin. It just missed his stick. He's chased to the line and out of center. Upshall grabbing Drouin along the boards. Knocks him down. He just tackled him. And Killorn talking to Upshall along the boards. It's played ahead to Stamkos. Lightning in a change. He sees that, so he'll circle back.
I think what we're seeing here is you're looking at how the games are going to be looked at during the playoffs.
Garrison fires it off the Panthers stick. It ends up in the crowd behind the benches. 12:53 to go in this first period. Tampa Bay jumping on a miscue, and they've got a 1-0 lead.
shaping up as a night for veterans. Brendan Maher with a goal for Tampa Bay. 43-year-old Jaromir Jagr skating for the first time here in a Panthers sweater. There's no doubt that he has given Florida sparks since its acquisition at the trading deadline. The Panthers 7-3-1 since he arrived, the fifth leading scorer in NHL history. It may have given Jagr an added jump, too, playing with line mates Jonathan Huberdeau, 21, and the 19-year-old Alexander Barkov. Jagr today glowing in his praise, saying 2 years from now, the sky's the limit for Florida's young roster. And while refusing to commit to playing next season, Jagr emphasizing his goal is to help the Panthers reach the playoffs this year, Rick and Chief. He did lament the fact that Ottawa continues to win, so Jagr is scoreboard watching with the rest of us right now.
Boy, Ottawa continues to win at an unbelievable pace right now.
Yeah, it's just freaky. You know, much of it has been because of the young goaltender, Hammond, the Hamburglar.
Well, we'll get to enjoy some hamburgers when we're in Ottawa in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Here's a steal. Callahan looking for help. He finds some. They score! Johnson driving it home. Stepping right into the play and hammering it by Luongo for a 2-0 lead.
Wow. What a shot. But what a heads-up play and a read by Callahan. He just anticipated that pass out of the players. The zone just stepped in between two of them. And watch him hold on to it. Great vision, too. And then there's that quick shot by Tyler Johnson. And very, very quickly, the Lightning have a 2-goal lead.
Play whistle down offside by Pierre Racicot. Now the Lightning, the first 5 shots in this hockey game. And a couple of goals past the veteran Luongo. And Luongo's given up 3 or more in only 2 of his last 14 games. So the Lightning off to a great start against a very stingy veteran. Callahan the only assist on Johnson's 26th at 7:47 for the 2-0 lead. Schuster. Pass intercepted. Ekblad playing it in. Schuster gets it back. Lightning scoring in their last 2 shots, a minute and 58 seconds apart. Campbell checked there by Kucherov, and we're going to get a boarding penalty to Nikita Kucherov. Ekblad coming over with something to say. But the first penalty of the game goes to the Lightning here at 8:24.
I got Tampa, 2 minutes for boarding.
Power play will come at 8:24, as Rick pointed out. He absolutely just coasting there. I don't think he even hit the boards, Campbell, but nonetheless, it's the power play for the Panthers.
Gallant has been looking for a spark here. 15.1% of the power play. 27th in the league. You see the Lightning penalty killing still in the top 10 at about 83%. And the Lightning come up with a puck and they fire it ahead to Filppula. Toyota power play for the Panthers. Filppula got Ekblad on his back. Kulikov works it free. Here comes big Alexander Barkov, the rangy centerman. Jagr to Kulikov, roaring in, feeds it across, and Huberdeau is stopped once, stopped twice by Vasilevsky. Garrison in that corner, double team. Killorn reaching for it, and it's cleared over the glass, and out of play by the Panthers. Face-off coming outside with 1:27 on the penalty.
Well, it took them a long time to get a shot on goal, and they got 2 of them back-to-back. Look at how quickly Vasilevsky gets over there. Covers everything low. No chance for that puck to get through the young man.
First 2 shots.
Yeah.
Good push across by the youngster, but able to maintain body control, too, and staying upright.
Tyler Johnson smartly fires that puck off the drop of the puck, and will send the Panthers back. Campbell. You see Jokinen across that line. Looking for Brad Boyes, curling it back to Jokinen. They'll start things from Campbell. Brian Boyle out on him. Here's Brandon Perry shooting, and he rifles it wide, and it's sent toward the net by Jokinen. And stopped there by Vasilevsky. Johnson got that puck out of a dangerous area. And we told you about Brandon Perry. He's not shy about shooting. In fact, his first game with Jágr, he tried to defer to Jágr on a shooting opportunity. He says, no, that's your puck. You fire. He's been shooting ever since. Pass in the middle of the boys. His shot stopped by Vasilevsky. Jimmy Hayes drifting by that net looking for a rebound or a deflection. Boys feeding it to the rangy Hayes. Campbell winding, waiting. Boys can't pull the trigger. Now does. Vasilevsky makes the stop. Kept to the outside by Palat. Battles to clear that zone. He does. And seconds on the penalty.
Big saves by the youngster and a great puck battle by Palat in the blue line there.
Markov hits the line with speed, just flipping it to Vasilevsky. He'll try to push it away. Panthers get it. Set it in front. Vasilevsky makes the save there on Jágr. There's a try and another save by Vasilevsky with a penalty over. And Kucherov having to step right in there and take a defensive assignment with pressure from the Panthers off the Vasilevsky giveaway. Schuster battling for it. Barkov has it. And behind it, Huberdeau swings in front. Lost the puck to Killorn. Killorn protecting that puck. It's bounced to the point. Ekblad with a shot. Absorbed by Vasilevsky. He'll hang on to it this time. And get the whistle as Tyler Johnson's goal made it 2-0 Lightning.
Heading up by 2 halfway through this first period. Just over, you're taking a look at two youngsters. Alexander Barkov and Jonathan Drouin taking second and third in that 2013 draft. You see what they've accomplished this year. Drouin a few more points with a +4 average ice time for Barkov, who's arguably playing on the number 1 line at this point. Most likely second line, but now number 1 tonight because of Bukestad's injury. But both of them are going to be really good players when they get used to the play in this league. Barkov's second season. It's Johnson's first.
Barkov 8 goals last year as a rookie at the age of 18. He's got 12 so far this year. Morrow took out his man along the boards, Upshaw. Here's Brown with a shot. Blocker saved there by Luongo. Upshaw getting a little taste of his own medicine from early on and his treatment of Drouin. Kopecky sliding it out to center. It's taken by Boyle. Schuster. He's it ahead to Brown. Ekblad winding, driving it in. Easily handled by Vasilevsky. Lightning had the first 5 shots. And Florida now has a 9-6 shot advantage. Here's a pass by Barberio. It's over Brown's head. Campbell with it.
Well, they got a lot of shots in that power play. We point out 6, and then they got 2 quick ones right after when...
Good job of checking by Kucherov. Got that puck away from Trocheck. Keeps it in the zone for Palat. Finds Garrison shooting. It's steered away by Luongo. Trocheck takes a hit from Kucherov. It's tipped back to the Lightning zone. Garrison, the one-time Panther there for it. Broke in with the Panthers. Known more for his goal scoring with that big shot. He had 16 goals one year and then signed a free agent deal with Vancouver. Traded to the Lightning last summer, and wow, has he ever fit in? Has he ever developed? Yeah. Around that net, Carl trying to get it free. Hayes out muscling him. Palat had it taken away by Peary. Here's a drive by Gabranson, and it's fended off there by Vasilevsky.
We talked, that was one of our keys, is being a little bit more diligent in the defensive zone. Hasn't appeared to be that way since that power play. It's been all Florida.
Lightning scoring 3 goals against the Bruins in the first. They've got 2 so far in this one. And the puck taken away by Jokinen. Tapped wide by Dave Bolin. And Vasilevsky kept that puck away from the front of the net. More pressure from the Panthers. Petrovic fires it off the end boards. And they get to it again. Kulikov sending one. It's deflected away to the corner. Garrison will come up with it. Playing it to Hedman. Drouin able to kick it over to Alex Killorn on the rush. Back in front for Killorn. He was checked by Kulikov, and that gave Luongo the opportunity to cover that puck at the whistle. Fans, there's no better time to reserve your 2015-16 season tickets. And now, season ticket members get the best seats, the best discounts, playoff priority, exclusive player access, and more. Call 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com.
I think every game, every period has its ebbs and flows. And, well, that power play has really sparked the Panthers.
Kulikov up the boards, pinching in. Hedman works against Jagr. Barkov enters that battle. Filppula gets a jolt. Away comes Jagr, the 43-year-old to center. Going to play it in, but it was blocked by Strawman. And now Barkov's got to wait for Huber to get back on the side. It's taken by Brian Campbell. Fires it across to Jagr. Barkov with it. Huberdeau, another trophy winner a couple of years ago. Tripped up by Filppula. He's going to get a call. Lightning will be shorthanded here at 14:06. Power play opportunity for the Panthers once again. They've got numerous shots on the first one. Lightning will try to hold them off when we come back.
Tyler Johnson has one of those Lightning goals, his 26th of the year, and that's extended a streak against these Panthers, as you see there. The last 5 games, he's picked up 5 goals in those 5 games. A power play goal, a game-winning goal. He's had 19 shots, and he's still pretty responsible defensively, a +3 in those 5 games as well. Filppula will be a tripping penalty at 14:06. Lightning have got to be able to get out of their zone a little quicker in this penalty. 6 shots for it ahead with that first opportunity.
Boyle trying to get the Lightning off to a good start here, but Boyes controls the face-off. Campbell. We got Hayes, who's 6'6", 221 around the net, feeding it across. It was blocked there by Hedman. Panthers hang on to it. Brandon Peary, 6 power play goals. Gave up the puck here to Brown, who'll clear it out. And Johnson spread those goals around 1 per game, so he's actually had a goal in each of 5 consecutive games against the Panthers. Lightning won here 3-2 on opening night. The man who fired that puck, Victor Hedman, scored in overtime. And they didn't play again until March 1st at the BB&T Center. Panthers won that one 4-3. Lightning worked hard to come up with that puck, and here comes Palat. Works with Johnson, gets the pass. Johnson backhanding it, saved Luongo. And they've got time to keep it moving. And Jussi Jokinen had to look back and saw that puck coming his way with a minute gone on the penalty. Quick wide pass. Campbell getting to it. Sends it off Boyle. Brown pressuring once again. Nothing like a little confidence will do for a young man with his kind of speed.
Boy, if he uses it all the time, and he could really be an effective tool out there for the Lightning.
Cleared out by Garrison. Boyle keeps a close eye on Kulikov. 31 seconds remaining on the Filppula call for hooking. Here's Jagr through center. Ekblad across for Barkov, the 2 19-year-olds. Passing that puck back and forth, but they lose it to Brown. Ekblad starting it ahead. Guided in by Bolin. Barberio hurries to the corner, gets there first. Stamkos involved, controls the puck. As Schuster looks up ice, Filppula's back on, and Alex Killorn joins him on the rush. Filppula takes the pass, back to Schuster, fires it back across, it deflected in on Luongo, off Trocheck, and Luongo halts play.
Well, much better penalty kill on this one. They've outshot the Panthers 1-0 on this, and this is where it was, right here, that backhand, trying to get high on the short side. Lightning much more diligent in their penalty kill dish.
A nice little crisscross there by Johnson and Palat, and then just putting the puck on the net. Lightning doing a good job of recognizing when the Panthers were bobbling the puck and forcing them into bad puck plays. Jumping on those opportunities and using their speed.
Boyle pulling it back to Barberio, goes to the corner. Around to his partner, Andre Schuster. And then Morrow started the scoring tonight. His pass intercepted by Peary. Peary scrambling to get free. The Lightning come up with a puck. Peary, a second-round pick by the Blackhawks in 2009. Dale Talon was running Chicago at that point. He knew of his talents, and he said he was going to be blocked with all the skill in front of him in that Chicago lineup, so he made the deal for a couple of draft picks last year at the deadline, and it's really paying off this year. Former AHL scoring champion. Boyle gets the pass, hooks it out in front. It's left there in the slot, cleared right to Carl. Now the Boyle shooting, and it's deflected back of the goal. Morrow with it, threw it in front off Luongo's stick. Panthers come out with it. McKenzie. Vasilevsky firing it back along the boards. Pull out with it. And Harrison.
Keep going back like that. You got two guys beat. Now you got to go through five again.
Here's Johnson. It's that line with speed. Kucherov a quick release. They got tangled up in some legs out in front of Luongo. Kucherov and Stroman handling it. Kulikov bumped in there. Johnson, a strong play for the little guy, and it was spoiled by Luongo. He knows how to use those hips to really give you leverage at his size. Score a Coke Zero pin package Thursday at 7:30. The Lightning hosting the Nashville Predators, one of the top teams in the Western Conference. Packages start as low as $20, so buy now at TampaBayLightning.com/tickets.
He, along with Block and Kucherov, I think that's a real strength of the trio, being able to screen that puck and screen players off from the puck with that body, with their hips and their legs.
Stroman shooting, and it's cleared away by McKenzie. Lightning have to play it. Callahan. He assisted on the Johnson goal to make it 2-0. Luongo awaiting the arrival of that puck of the trapezoid. Campbell. Around for Jaromir Jagr. Back to Campbell. Quickly got that puck out of the Florida zone. Now it's Barkov. Stroman double teamed in there by Barkov and Jagr. Callahan getting to it. Campbell compacting the play for the Panthers. Huberdeau fires, and a save by Vasilevsky. Stay tuned for the Gulf Coast Honda dealers' first intermission report. Here's what's coming up. Tyler Johnson joining Paul, and we'll have an in-depth look at the remainder of the Lightning schedule, highlights and stats as well.
Wow, both teams are so much better in the offensive zone than they are in their own zone. 11-10 shots favoring the Panthers, and it's just been the Lightning's ability to finish has been the difference.
Barkov wins the faceoff. Killorn got out there in time to spoil Campbell's try. And now it's Drouin, hounded by Barkov. We talked about that matchup a little earlier. GMC big matchup, playoff side.
Good to see Jonathan Drouin get an opportunity. And you see Barkov, two of the top picks in that draft, and Jonathan Drouin, the Lightning being a little more patient with him, and starting to pay off now. You got to learn to play on both sides of the puck. Everyone knows what he can do offensively. It's what you can do defensively, the coaches like to see.
Puck comes off the glass support. Willie Mitchell had to get back there quickly for it under a minute to go in the period. Schuster back. And the Panthers steal, waiting in the slot. There's the shot that's taken there by Bolden that was blocked. Jokinen back to Goodbranson. Kicked away by Barberio. There's Bolden right there. And now Boyes from behind the net. Backhanding it on goal is saved by Vasilevsky as Jokinen spilled side of the net. The Lightning do get it out with 30 seconds to go. And Killorn comes in there to take the puck. Steams in. Shoots. And he tried to go glove side, just missed. Schuster playing it back in front. Mitchell's clear was knocked down. Bolden controlling it. Mitchell now under 10 seconds to go in this first period. Shots now 12-10 favoring the Panthers. Lightning had the first 5, Panthers the next 8. And they end up 12-10 Florida. However, the Lightning end up 2-0 in their favor in the scoreboard thanks to goals by Tyler Johnson after the initial goal by Brendan Morrow. The Lightning scoring twice in just under 2 minutes to take a 2-0 lead. Broadcast on Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Welcome back to Amalie Arena. All quiet outside, hot and heavy. The action inside. Lightning in front 2-0. Chief Tampa Bay scored 4 times in the first 28 minutes against the Bruins. Got a lot of their offensive work done pretty early in that game. Pretty good start here.
Boy, they had this game under complete control, and then that power play happened for Florida, and that really just lit a fire underneath the Panthers. They picking up 5 shots right off the bat. They had about 3 real quick ones right after that before the Lightning even got their equilibrium back. So they really got their offense rolling in that power play. But the Lightning, on a 5-on-5 situation, have done really well so far.
As they have all season, they score their 2 goals within a minute 58 as we look at the chase review. And the shots, Lightning had the first 5, then the Panthers had the next 8. And things kind of evened out from there after the power plays settled down a little bit. Panthers with the only 2. And a 4-0 first period for Val Filppula in the faceoff circle. Certainly helping in that category.
Well, let's look at tonight's Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. As we look at Vasilevsky. And you see the most wins in a season in Lightning franchise history. This year's version of the Lightning are closing in on that. 3 times the Lightning have won 46 games, including the year they went on to win the Stanley Cup.
That'd be nice to do it with 8 games left.
Yeah, I'll say.
They've been creating a new record for home ice wins throughout this homestand. And so they come in with 29 tonight. A win tonight would give them 30. The 2 teams they're trying to catch at 99 points in the Eastern Conference. Canadiens losing 1-0 in Nashville. And the Rangers trailing 2-1 to the Kings. So Tampa Bay just 2 points behind at 97. Then you got to look at the franchise record for most points of the season. 106 set back in that Stanley Cup season. And a save by Vasilevsky here in the first 8 seconds of the second period. Petrovic with a shot off the skate. Huberdeau around the net, curling it in front, and it's intercepted by Nemestikov. Callahan racing ahead. He'll take on Petrovic. Rushed him aside. The pass across for Filppula. Out to the point. Strawman to Hedman. Winding. Firing. Save Luongo. Rebound comes out to Huberdeau. And Hedman will not let the Panthers out of that zone just yet. Victor playing 8-17. In that first period, Callahan shooting, saved by Luongo. And Callahan comes up with a puck.
Boy, he's so good at puck retrieval, Ryan Callahan. He's got really good hands, and he's able to control it a lot, too, when he does finally pick their pockets.
There's a new way to get all of your Florida sports gear. Introducing TampaBaySports.com, your new online store to get Lightning, Bucks, Rays, Bulls, Gators, and Seminoles merchandise.
I don't think those jerseys come with pizzas, though.
As Killorn will take this face-off against Barkov. Petrovic off the glass, knocked down by Schuster. Holding his ground there against Jaromir Jagr, Petrovic, and others. And it comes free to Huberdeau. It's played by Barberio and Kulikov. Out on the wing for Huberdeau. Huberdeau, 21 years of age. Very good friend of Jonathan Drouin of the Lightning. Drouin with the puck. Out of Callahan. Trying to center, couldn't against Petrovic. He's still out there. Kulikov. Jokinen with a pass. Boys behind everybody. It's off his stick. He'll get to it. Circles the net. Fires it across for Jokinen. That was blocked in front, as helping out in the goal mouth was Drouin. Willie Mitchell, the captain of the Panthers, will dump it back to the corner. Barberio checks the traffic, and it's closing in on him. Puck worked free side of the goal. Jokinen getting it back out to the point. Goodbranson with a shot off the glove of Vasilevsky. Bolin trying to stir things up around that net. Something he's very good at doing. Killorn lead pass for Drouin. Mitchell trying to match him, and he smartly just slapped that puck off his stick. Mitchell, a two-time Stanley Cup winner with the LA Kings, now in his 14th year in the league, and coming along with other players with significant Stanley Cup experience to try to help the young folks in this Florida lineup. Barberio holding up the Panthers. Peary, down he goes, checked by Kucherov, it's sent in, and Vasilevsky sees he's got Hayes bearing down on him.
Well, that Barberio and Schuster have been out there a long time. They got to get him off the ice.
Here's Palat into the zone. His shot is deflected, trickling wide of Luongo. Trocheck couldn't come up with it. And Palat, along with Kucherov, combined to gain control for the Lightning. Pass deflected, it hit Palat, comes down to Ekblad. And Hayes out on the wing. Rick wide for Brandon Peary. Garrison in the corner, checked there by Trocheck. Carl working it to Garrison. Trocheck there to bump him along with Peary. It comes out to Palat. They'll just flip it out through center. And Campbell's back. Both teams want to make changes.
Well, so far, both teams' breakouts have been high dumps out the outside trouble.
Gerard Gallant saying this morning he's very happy with the way his team forechecked in recent weeks. He likes their consistency night in, night out. They're really going about chasing down this playoff spot the right way as Chris Stigman joins us between the benches.
How you doing, guys? In a fast pace to the second period, and for the Tampa Bay Lightning, want to spend a little more time in the offensive zone. You got a 2-goal lead. Make the Florida Panthers, who don't score a lot of goals, make them come 200 feet if they're going to earn a scoring opportunity.
Puck retrieval is going to be really important, too. I mean, you lose that puck, you got to get it back, and Florida did that very well in the first period.
Barberio bringing it off Schuster's stick, and Luongo out there to handle it. Sliding it around for Kopecky. Barreled into there by Boyle. Kulikov taking it. Panthers making the playoffs in 2012. They won the Southeast title. There's only 5 players left on their roster from that experience. Kopecky and Kulikov are 2 of them. As here's Barberio to center. Bounced in wide on Luongo. And Morrow sidesteps that hit by Kulikov. Here's McKenzie getting to it. He's got Scotty Upshall, who's another one of that 5. With Eric Goodbranson on the team as well as Huberdeau got dumped. It's played out to center, waiting at the line. Namestnikov. Here's Filppula back in front. Namestnikov tips it wide. Barkov checking him from behind. Puck dribble to the point. Hedman holding it in. Filppula playing it back to Namestnikov. Finds Filppula. Strawman at the point, arresting it. And it hit Namestnikov. Scooped up by Jágr, throwing it across to Huberdeau. Barkov able to skate in there freely. Big player at 6'3", 216, but he's got all the tools. Jágr hounded by Callahan. Hedman picks it up. Filppula lets it go to Namestnikov. He'll shoot it in. Campbell's got it. Lightning change. Aaron Ekblad from center shoots it in. And it comes off the glass support right in front. Carl there for it. Carl. And Killorn combined to curl it to center. Bolin starting it in. Goes down to Jokinen shooting. A save by Vasilevsky. He'll hang on.
Well, Tampa Bay Lightning Hockey on Sun Sports is brought to you by Hat-Tricks. Proudly serving the Lightning fans for the last 18 years. It's only 3 blocks from the Amalie Arena. Great place to start your night of hockey and also to end your night of hockey. Grab a cold beverage or those famous shake and bake wings. But why don't you join the party that everybody calls hat tricks?
Panthers get it from the draw. Gudbranson at that point position. Boys steps away from Carl, swings in. His shot, though, is blocked by Garrison. As strong as he been. Here's Gudbranson shooting. That's deflected. Recovered. Jokinen shoots. He scores. He fired it just under the crossbar, and the Panthers get their first goal. It's 2-1 Lightning.
6-16. Again, it's just a matter of you've got to take players out of the play. The stick checking doesn't work very often. That allows those teams to get circle. You eliminate players out of the play, and it makes it more difficult to make plays. Nobody did, and that quick shot just got right up underneath the glove of Vasilevsky. And the Panthers are in within one.
Well, I think you got to be careful. You get off to a 2-goal lead, and then you take a couple penalties in that first period. And a couple sloppy plays here in the second period, and now it's all of a sudden it's a 1-goal game. You got to be smarter with the puck, and Jokinen always finds a way to score. Talented forward.
Only his 7th goal, but he does get the points, Chris, leading his team in assists. He's almost at 300 career assists, as a matter of fact. And the Panthers right back in that Lightning zone. They set it up for Peary. Let it go. They score. It went in off Vasilevsky. And Brandon Peary, now with 5 goals in his last 6 games, has tied this game up.
I tell you, the Lightning are really, really being sloppy in their own zone. They're just not really taking that. I mean, Vasilevsky had lost his stick. He couldn't get it right back even. Tyler Johnson did the smart thing to grab it. But nobody controlled the puck. Nobody got it out of trouble. Everybody they took the quick shot, and it got him on the left bicep, but it went in. And Peary continues his hot pace, his 18th of the year. So Lightning scored really 2 quick goals against the Bruins, and seen the Panthers do that here to them, and now this game's tied.
And Peary had quite a stretch of goal scoring in late January, early February, really since the Olympic break. And he had goals in 4 straight games, held off the last one. Now he's scored again. He's got 15 of those 18 goals in the last 21 games. Hayes down the boards. Interrupted by Morrow, but he couldn't control it. Brandon Peary in there for it. And crashing through was Hayes, the 220-pounder. Morrow's pass knocked down by Trocheck. 2 goals in 18 seconds. The Panthers have tied this game up. Schuster's pass by everybody, and it will result in an icing call.
Well, we've talked about, in that first period, at least I did, about the fact that both teams have played a lot better in the other team's zone. So far, it's been all Florida in the Lightning zone. And they picked up 2 goals to tie this hockey game.
Yeah, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, you really need to simplify their game right about now. More of a straightforward game. Simple plays aren't working right now. Down the boards, get in the zone.
Brown chips it in. Wide of Luongo. Campbell back there for it. He's the last member of that group of 5 that was part of their team a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, that went to the playoffs for the Panthers. Haven't had a lot of success in getting to the postseason, but they're hoping that they can come up with a chance here late. They've rallied here to tie this game at 2. Every Thursday is Throwback Bolts Day, brought to you by Jeep. Tune into Thursday's game against the Predators and post the best Lightning vintage photo of yourself by using the hashtag #ThrowbackBolts. We'll select the best photo, feature it in the postgame show. The scoring plays Jokinen is 7th from Boys and Gudbranson at 6:16. And then at 6:34, Peary's 18th from Trocheck. Stamkos at center. Long try, handled by Luongo, standing up for that one, and he'll hang on for the whistle. Just past the 8-minute mark of the second period. Lightning 2 in the first. 2 quick ones by the Panthers here in the second.
A 2-2 game. One of the most vital contributors to Tampa Bay's success so far this year has been Brian Boyle, the tall, skilled centerman, a graduate of Boston College. Began his professional career in 2007 in the American Hockey League. The Manchester Monarchs, playing for Mark Morris. Boyle credits the Panthers' now first-year assistant with pushing him to achieve more, to be more professional, and Brian says to be a more mature man on and off the ice. Morris coached the LA Kings of Philly to Manchester from 2006 until last season, before this year joining Gerard Gallant in Florida, where he's once again contributing to a team's success. Rick and Chief.
Well, thanks very much. As cutting in, it's Huberdeau. He tried to make the pass, went through Vasilevsky, they score. Huberdeau followed up. He had men going to the net, tried to find him. Vasilevsky thought he had spoiled that plan, but Huberdeau there to finish it off. And Florida now is a 3-2 lead.
I'll tell you what, they're coming out of their zone so easily right now. There's that big shot, and it actually ricocheted off of Strawman and had Vasilevsky going one way for the shot. The puck came back. He tried to recover. He couldn't. There you see it trying to recover. He got a piece of it. Huberdeau was there. Nobody picked him up. Not a soul picked up Huberdeau. His 12th of the year. 3 straight unanswered goals by Florida's given him that 3-2 lead.
Bit of a bad bounce for the Tampa Bay Lightning. The youngster Vasilevsky making that first save, but for Lightning now, it's got check time. You got to get back in this game, get and play in the right way.
Well, the Lightning scored 2 in a minute 58 in the first period. The Panthers have scored 3 in a minute 58 here in the second period. Huberdeau's 5th point against the Lightning in the 3 meetings. He had 3 assists in that 4-3 win in South Florida March 1st. Puck guided in by Johnson. Kudakov checked in there by Palat. Johnson trying to center reach. Kucherov steps around one man, tangled up by Huberdeau. Work free, and Barkov skates it back to center. Barkov and Jágr get the assists on that goal at 8:14, and that's the line that now with 25 combined points in 12 games. They found chemistry right off the bat when Jágr came just short of the trade deadline. Here's Hedman to center for the Lightning. Makes off a check. Blockered away by Luongo. Out in front of Steele. Kucherov fires, and it's guided by Palat on goal. A save by Luongo and cleared out of trouble by Petrovic. Good chance for the triplets. Petrovic ahead. You see Jokinen with it. Another one of the veteran additions. J.T. Brown with a look-up ice. Pounded by Jokinen. Brown using Barberio. He's got Morrow waiting on left wing. And he hits Boyle to center. Here comes Brown flying in against Campbell. Shoots. And it's deflected by Luongo. Off the netting and out of play. Just to follow up on that Boyle story for a moment, talking with Mark Morris this morning. He remembered when Boyle came out of Boston College, first-year pro, and the Kings wanted him to play defense. And Mark said, well, I played him on defense, and then I tried to use him up front in front of the net in the power play, and he was pretty good there with the likes of Matt Molson and Teddy Purcell and Peter Harold, other NHLers now with other organizations. And he said, I insisted he was going to be a centerman, and that's the position primarily he's found. Of course, we've seen him on defense, but he really credited Boyle's maturity as well as his abilities and working hard to get to the NHL, and they still keep in touch. Here's Perry. Trocheck down the wing. Fires. Kicked out by Vasilevsky. Tapped away by Jimmy Hayes. Puck comes out in front of the net, over top of the goal, and Carl guides it away from his knees, gets it to the boards. And Drouin coming up with it for the Lightning. Stamkos trailing. Stamkos going to the net now. Drouin still controls. Hands it to Barberio. Schuster getting to it. Checked there by Perry. And Drouin had to back off that blue line. Killorn with it. Stamkos controls, cuts in, playing it now for Drouin. Back to Stamkos, and coming into the play off the bench was McKenzie. He'll send it off Perry, sticking down the ice. Barberio in front of his net. Taken over by the Panthers at center. Petrovic Handing it to Kopecky. And the play whistle down offside. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the second. Panthers have overtaken the Lightning so far here midway. Here's tonight's hockey history moment brought to you by Geico. On this day, 2003, Lightning captain Dave Andreychuk scored his 20th goal of the season, the 18th time he scored 20 or more goals in his career. He added an assist as the Bolts clinched their first playoff berth in 7 years, a 4-1 victory over the Sharks in San Jose. And our producer, Rob Aller, correctly remembered that was the last win for the Lightning in San Jose until their trip this year. I'll bet Dave Andreychuk thought they were never going to win another game there without him.
Tell you what, he scored a lot of goals, Andy.
Did indeed. Now, Vice President of Community and Corporate Affairs. He is all over the building during games and all over town. Well, tonight on Fox Sports Live, 7 other NHL games in action. The race for the President's Trophy is on. Lightning in the middle of that. Can the Rangers win their first trophy in over 20 years? How about the Lightning? Jay and Dan will bring you highlights from across the league tonight on Fox Sports Live. Go to foxsports1.com to find Fox Sports 1 in your area. Off the faceoff, Johnson battling, and it ends up in Panther hands. And the pass hit the skates of Kopecky. Been moving it to Stralman. Out ahead for Tyler Johnson. That slides it down the boards. He dropped 3 hits in the first period, gets involved there, but he drops a broken stick. He'll go to the bench and pick up a new one with the play now moving to center. And he'll take the pass. Hedman's pass for Johnson. Not enough on it. Panthers jump on that. Fed back to Huberdeau. Going forehand, and that was blocked by Hedman. Stralman going to work it away. This line centered by Barkov with a veteran Jágr. And Jonathan Huberdeau has really been a force in these 3 games. Working together. Jágr at 230, pulling his way to the net. Finally taken away. Palat lobs it back down the ice. Fired ahead off Jágr's stick. And this will result in an icing call.
One thing Panthers have done very well in this period is that they've really got the puck out of their zone very quickly. They've been able to pass it out and then skate it out, and even if they haven't, they've made it that very quick, hard shot off the boards, and if it's gone for an icing, so be it. They just come back and start over again. And then, of course, their puck retrieval in the offensive zone has been really strong.
Well, they look, just watching him off and on and seeing him a couple of times here in March live, Chief, like they've developed a pretty good meat and potatoes identity.
That's what will carry you along if you get in the playoffs. You're going to need that.
Harrison for the point, wristing it, and it's blocked. Lightning delay the exit of the Panthers out of their zone as boys will chip it to the corner. Harrison back there. Nemestikov in left wing. Joined on the rush by Filppula. Bolden closing in on the back check. Filppula keeps the play alive, joined by Schuster from the Lightning bench. Forced to center now. And the puck got away from Carl. Boys can't make a play. Carl with a pass behind Callahan. Tracked down by Mitchell. To Granson. His pass well behind Bolden. And icing. Results. Be sure to tune in Thursday night for the premiere of Inside the Lightning, The Gear. We'll take a look at modern hockey equipment, how it has evolved over the years. Both former and current players discuss and compare the advancements made to sticks, pads, and skates. Even try a couple of slap shots with a vintage piece of wood. Inside the Lightning debuts Thursday night following Lightning Live postgame.
I wouldn't even want to attempt take a slap shot with one of my old wooden sticks.
Freddie Modine was one of the last holdouts.
Yeah.
Those things are like a 2x4. You don't realize how light the new sticks are. I try to keep a stick from every year, guys. And I got an old Sherwood, an old Coho, and oh my goodness.
It was good to see Freddie in town for the fantasy camp a little while ago, and it seemed like he was one of the last holdouts, and he said that the sticks lasted longer, but the fibers twisted, you'd lose accuracy. Does that sound correct, Chris?
Somewhat correct. I think Freddie, a big thing for him was that he didn't like the vibration on those one pieces. That there's no flex in the blade. All the flex is for the most part in the shaft. Where wooden sticks, you get a bit of both. So you notice guys a lot of times when they get a hard pass, they're trying to settle the puck down. They have a feel.
Strawman checked by Boyce. Edmund prying it loose. It gets behind Petrovic. Peary whirling and firing. And now he takes the pass, or the puck away from Stamkos.
Well, I know all goaltenders wish you guys still played with wooden sticks.
Here's Stamkos getting the pass. Guides it on goal. A save by Luongo as Petrovic got enough of him from behind. The spoil is moved to the net.
Well, you can see that right away. The Lightning will get a rush, and Panthers try to get out of there quickly. They've iced the puck about 5 times over the last 4 minutes. There you see that one there. Just great poke check on the part of Petrovic. Right there. But they want to move that puck quickly, and they don't care if it does end up in an icing.
On the scrum, it squirts away to the corner. Kulikov there, flipping it out to center. Another whistle for icing against the Panthers.
It's interesting you said that, Chief, about how goalies wish they use the wooden sticks. And I played with Tom Barrasso. He said when he first came in the league, there was 1 or 2 guys per team that could hurt you with a shot. And then back in 2003, he said everybody can hurt you with a shot.
That's true.
The way the puck comes off those sticks and how quickly it comes off, I wouldn't want to be a goaltender, that's for sure.
And the Lightning trying to generate something in the Panther zone. They've got 7 shots here in the second period. Johnson's pass slowed down enough, but that allows Hedman to hold it in, and he just missed the net with a big shot that went wide on the glove side of Roberto Luongo. Hedman's pass deflected in the air by Upshaw. Panthers bring it in. McKenzie with a backhander that's wide. Kucherov gathers it in. Lead pass for Palat. Met by Ekblad at the line. Ekblad gets in Hedman's way. McKenzie trying to have it played behind the net. Instead, Johnson getting to it. Intercepted, and McKenzie gets it out. Kopetsky dumps it in. This time they avoid the icing. 4:36 remaining in the second period. Panthers have slowed down the pace. Imagine that doesn't disappoint them too much. They scored 3 times in a little under 2 minutes. Strawman pushing it into that corner. Boyle shovels it along toward Brendan Morrow, but it was taken away by Jágr. Jágr hits the line, cuts to the middle. He shoots it. It's deflected away. Barkov tried to jam it home. Huberdeau once again in the middle of the action. Picked up by Jágr. Throws it back to Huberdeau. Huberdeau very tough to handle around that opposing net.
Especially when you're stick checking it.
Here's Ekblad shooting and through the maze of sticks. It's found by Vasilevsky. He gloves the puck for the whistle just inside 4 minutes to go in the second period as the Lightning trail at 3-2. Welcome back. Unusual connection between these two. As you can see, Jaromir Jágr, we all know, 5th overall pick in the 1990 NHL draft. How about Wes McCauley, the referee, as the 150th overall pick that year of the Detroit Red Wings? Of course, his late father, John, a great referee for a long time in the NHL.
Boy, he sure looks like his dad. I know there's
Jágr shooting, it's fended off. We kind of gave away Wes McCauley's age there, didn't we? Jágr with it, he turns away from Hedman, fires in front off Huberdeau's stick, and it's taken by Nemestikov. Campbell plays it out of play. All right. rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, telecommunication to the public, or other unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express consent of the Tampa Bay Lightning is prohibited.
There was a movement there where they were trying to get ex-players into the referee ranks and training them. And remember, that real tough guy McGuire played for Buffalo, was refereed for a while, but that was the last guy.
Rick Patterson, who was in the Lightning organization, briefly the head coach, interim head coach. He was in that program. Never got to the NHL in terms of being a referee. Of course, fine player for the Blackhawks back in the 90s. Now he's part of the Anaheim Ducks management, but he was in that program to become an official.
Yeah.
Paul Stewart, former player.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about Stewie.
I hated when he was reffing because I remember a couple times I got in a fight, and if it wasn't up to his standards, he was like, "Come on, is that all you got? A little better than that." Sorry. I was like, "Sorry, guy."
It's like Dan O'Rourke, I think. Might not have been a penalty minute champion, but he had well over 100 minutes in junior hockey. Refs are tougher than some of the players. Here's Jokinen. Bring it back out to the point. Mitchell the drive. Tipped on goal. A save by Vasilevsky. Boys got that tip in front. And Stamkos right there to steal the centering pass. Killorn back down the right side. Cutting to the middle. Lets it go. It's blocked. Garrison stepping into the action. His pass is off Mitchell's stick. Drouin scoops it up. Back out to Carl. Twisting it. Knocked down. Stamkos tried to slap it on its way to the net. But couldn't get it through Goodbranson. Garrison getting to the point in time to hold it in. Killorn met by a pair of Panthers. Down he goes. Goodbranson there for it.
It's amazing when you take a player out physically how you come up with the puck time and time again.
Harrison absorbs that hit from Trocheck. Hangs in there. Moving it ahead to Palat. Tyler Johnson looking to get the wheels in motion, joined by fresh defenseman off the bench. Palat checked by Peary. Hayes to the point. Stroman there. Hayes gets it back. Trying to move it out. The Lightning nearly come up with it. Taken though by Trocheck ahead for Hayes. Cutting in now and lets the shot go over the shoulder of Vasilevsky. Behind to Hayes. Palat and Johnson. Out of Kucherov. Hedman joining the rush. Finds Palat, but Peary reaching in there. Tipped that pass. Palat circles, fires, and it hit Johnson. Johnson cycling it now to Andre Palat. To Johnson firing, and it's deflected by Kulikov behind the goal. Petrovic double team. Palat got it free. And back to Anton Stroman. Rips one, tipped, and just wide. Stroman scoring a goal in each of the last two games. Under a minute to go in the second period. The Lightning furiously at work trying to tie this score up before the intermission. Petrovic eases the pressure. Victor Hedman sends it across. Bouncing puck. Callahan couldn't handle it. And now Hedman gets that pass. He'll bring it in the zone. Bouncing it to the corner. Filppula to try to get there. Mitchell is on hand. Upshaw plays it out. Bouncing puck. Barberio speeds across to take it. Shots 22-17 favoring the Panthers. 10-7 Florida. Here in the second period, they'd outchanced the Lightning at one point 5-1 here in the second period. And that was in the process of scoring 3 times in a little under 2 minutes to take a 3-2 lead, which they now enjoy. Puck golfed out by Goodbranson. That's going to do it for this second period. Lightning 2 in the first, Panthers 3 in the second. Stay tuned for the Gulf Coast Honda Dealers second intermission report. Victor Hedman will join Paul and talk about what's ahead for this team here in this third period. We'll introduce you to tonight's Community Hero, take you around the league. A lot of important Eastern Conference battles. At least the top 6 in the East are in action. Highlights and stats of this game coming up as well. Sun Sports is brought to you by Gulf Coast Honda. Visit your Gulf Coast Honda dealers for great deals on new Hondas. Go to gchondadealers.com. By Kaiser University, over 90 programs online and on campus. Learn more at kaiseruniversity.edu. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Welcome back inside Amalie Arena. Panthers have overtaken the Lightning with a big second period, 3-2. And Chief, the Lightning are really off the charts in a lot of ways you measure third periods all season long. They have to muster up another good one here.
Yeah, they do, but they've only come back twice when they've been trailing by 2. So it's going to be something that they have to really address right at the opening face-off. They have to get that speed back. They've won the first period. Panthers won the second. We'll see who wins the rubber.
They seem to be, as we look at the Chase review, developing more patience, where they're not trying to get it back all at once and maybe opening themselves up. They seem to develop some patience as far as that's concerned.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, though, they were really not being able to have too much zone time in the Florida end. Florida did a very good job of retrieving pucks in the second period, and then when the Lightning tried to sustain any kind of pressure in there, they were out. So even if they had to ice the puck, they did it, and didn't want to have that puck in their zone for any length of time.
And the Lightning, no power play chances yet. I don't think they got a power play till the third period against the Bruins. You see their third period goal differential. Chris Stigman joining us between the benches here.
Well, they're going to have to use that third period goal differential in this game, guys. And you talked about it a little bit. They got to use their speed in transition. The Panthers doing a good job of having 3, 4, and sometimes 5 guys back. So the Lightning have to do a good job of getting the puck out of their zone quickly and getting it up.
Well, the Lightning striking quickly with 2 goals in less than 2 minutes in the first period off a couple of Panther mistakes. See if they can create a few in that attacking zone here in this third period as we get underway. Barkov working it free. Huberdeau overskates it. It stays in the zone for Carl. The Panthers chop it safely out over the line. Garrison playing it in. Gilpin is offside. He had to let it go. Dmitry Kulikov throwing it across to Jaromir Jagr. Steps in, fires, and Carl went to a knee to block it. And Carl ends up with a puck. Give it up to Jagr. Pulls off Filppula, literally. Barkov with a quick shot, a save by Vasilevsky. Jagr getting it back. Barkov will fire again. Vasilevsky has the save, and he'll hang on.
Well, they've just absolutely owned the offensive zone, the Panthers. They've been able to control that puck and set up plays. Watch this. There's a quick shot there. The same play happens again, and Barkov gets open again with another quick shot. Vasilevsky's had to be quick for both those plays.
We've seen that for a lot of years. Jaromir Jagr turning his back, using his strength. We're tough. We got to create some puck separation.
Jagr blending so quickly with a 19-year-old centerman and a 21-year-old former Calder Trophy winner in Huberdeau. As soon as he joined the Panthers from New Jersey, and they've been together ever since, and you saw the chemistry working there, creating a couple of chances. Here's Johnson. Back to Barbera shooting in front. Ends up with Palat. He fires, and it's blocked by Boyes. Schuster with it. Kucherov shoved to the boards. Play kept alive by Andre Palat. Back to Schuster shooting, and it's tipped by Kucherov over the net, off the glass. Hands it back. He scores! Luongo frustrated. He did not react as Kucherov jams it in. He ties the game at 3.
I think he was thinking some goaltender interference, but I just think he lost sight of the puck. They moved around, quick shot here. This is where he lost it right here. You see Johnson right there at the edge of the crease. He came in here, see him standing right there, and then Kucherov was able to find that pad, or the space between the pad and the goalpost, and I think just Luongo just lost sight of the puck.
Well, the Lightning tied at 3 with a 27th goal of the season for Nikita Kucherov at 1:30 of the third. That's the way they wanted to start this third period.
Definitely the response you wanted, putting the puck on net even when misses the net. Jumping on those rebounds.
Now they're going to say the play is under review. They had talked about it, the officials, and started to line up. So they must have been notified that they are going to review this to make sure from hockey operations.
Puck retrieval is so important in that offensive zone. That's what happened. There you see Kucherov, and there's Johnson standing right there. He's on the outside of the crease, pushed in there by Boland, and he got back. There you see it come up, and there it goes right up off of Ekblad. This is where Luongo loses sight of it. He's not sure exactly where it is. Couldn't get over there. And he's seeing that he was interfered with, but
they might have been checking there. As you saw from that angle, our camera that's posted just above the glass, it deflects off the glass, comes up, and did it contact the netting, which would make it out of play, but I don't think there's a definitive look at that puck contacting the netting. That might be what they're talking about, because Johnson seemed to be minding his P's and Q's at the edge of the crease. But Luongo looking the other direction. How could he question whether that puck was out of play? Let's see what Dvorsky has to say.
We saw if the puck hit the mesh. Did not hit the mesh. We got a good goal.
So it is a good goal. Schuster and Palat get the assist at 1:30 on Kucherov's 27. Palat, since coming back from injury, a pair of 2-point games, and now he's got a point in this one. Granson eating that puck in the corner. Callahan trying to work it free, and he does. He's checked by Mitchell. Gonna fight off that check. Callahan burrows out to the front of the net. It's played away by Hayes. What an effort by Ryan Callahan there.
Sorry, Rick Callahan's back with Stamkos.
Edmund coming across for it, chased in there by Hayes. Stamkos over to play the puck, couldn't get enough of it to get it out. It's carried out by Killorn, helped by quite a check by Callahan as he finishes a hard-working shift.
With about 10 cross-checks from William Mitchell there, having words going up the ice.
Lindsay from the red line playing it in, and apparently others wearing blue uniforms share the opinion of Victor Hedman at the intermission that was an embarrassing second period. Vasilevsky out to play the puck. Intercepted. Kopetsky right there. However, Garrison reaching for it. Moves it quickly. Here's Kulikov down the boards. He's met by Boyle. Garrison finds Morrow. Leans on that pass across for Boyle off his blade. Gets in underneath Kulikov. And it played back on the point. Deflected by McKenzie. Comes back and Luongo covers it up. With Morrow spilled right at the front of the net by Petrovic.
Bite off more than you can chew.
Well, I mean, he was dumped there. He did a good job of screening off, but then he gave a little extra shot at him when he was laying on the ice. And I think that's what upset Brendan Morrow.
Kucherov at clutch time. One of the guys you look to, him and Alex Killorn, they score so frequently in the third period, but Kucherov right up there with Nash and Pacioretty among the leaders. Although he has 27 goals, Nash has got 39 and Pacioretty right behind him. So he saved his best for last. Here's Barkov shooting, and it's blocked by Hedman. Gets it back. Around to Huberdeau. Yager wheeling and dealing. Here's that line again for Gerard Gallant. Ekblad with a shot, stretching out Vasilevsky. Looked around Huberdeau and made the glove save.
Boy, he's going to be able to play till he's 53. Nobody gets in front of him. They're stick checking all the time.
There's a new way to get all of your Florida sports gear. Introducing TampaBaySports.com, your new online store to get Lightning, Bucks, Rays, Bulls, Gators, and Seminoles merchandise.
See Evan Longoria. He's a Stamkos fan. Got his gear.
He's got his Lightning merchandise. Got to get a matching jersey for the misses. Here's Johnson down the boards. Pass dispensed with by Bolin. Back comes Jokinen. Barberio didn't get it away from Boyes, who's passed through the goal mouth. Ended up on the boards. Chopped away by Barberio here for Palat. He'll slip it out to center. Goodbranson there, watched by Kucherov. Palat nearly came up with a loose puck there. Jokinen bring it back to Goodbranson. He'll chase his own dump in. Couldn't turn the corner in Barberio. And Trocheck's pass went behind Brandon Beery back down the ice.
Start you want for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the pace you want, and a couple good shifts after scoring a goal.
As G pointed out, Callahan back on the Stamkos line. That's the crew that goes to work here. Goodbranson's pass knocked down, held in by Stamkos. For Killorn, and it ends up with Mitchell. Brandon Beery steps ahead. From center, he'll fire, and it's blockered away by Vasilevsky. Garrison withstands the pressure of a pair of Panthers. Now Hayes gets it loose. Back for Jason Garrison. Gets that red line. He'll ease it in. Petrovic back. Stamkos on him. They get it away. Loose behind the net. Callahan digging as well in there. Kept in by Carl. Shooting. Deflected. Knocked down in front. Stamkos has it. Couldn't get the shot away. Just couldn't quite get the handle on it. Trocheck back to center. Into the zone. Kulikov fires. And he sends it high over the net. And it comes down to Boyle. Boyle steaming down the ice against Petrovic. Fires, and a save by Luongo. We'll play it back for Morrow as Gunnar the Drouin now with that line once again. The pass tipped out of play.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he made a nice move as he came down that wing. It looked like he was going to go inside, and he really fooled Petrovic, who got back quickly to try and had a good angle on him.
An example of puck protection at full speed, turning his back and getting the shot off.
Fooled the young defenseman. Look at his season, career high of 21 goals 3 years ago for the Rangers, 14 this year, and there have been many important ones. He's one of 5 players on the Lightning with 5 game-winning goals.
And that's 3 shorthanded goals to that pedal as well. Those are big goals that he's scored.
Off that pile up in the corner, the Panthers emerge with a puck at Jagr to center. Vasilevsky moves it along for Hedman. Sliding it for Nemestikov. A.T. Brown now the right winger on this line with Filppula centering. Nemestikov protects the puck, takes the hit. Hedman with it, sends it across to the corner, and Filppula there to take the pass. Intercepted by Alexander Barkov. Huberdeau getting it out. Hedman steps to center. Swings in, loops around Barkov. And behind the net, caught up to by Ekblad. Huberdeau trying to handle that deflected pass, fires a save by Vasilevsky. Hedman skims it out ahead for Kucherov, who was escorted there by Ekblad. Andre Palat just out of the reach of Kucherov. Panthers on the counter, still had a forward offside. 13-18 to go in the third period. Lightning have tied it on the goal by Kucherov.
8 games remain in Tampa Bay season, just 9 for the Florida Panthers as Gerard Gallant, a former Bull, leads the Cats here into an arena in which he skated nearly 2 decades ago. Actually played in the old Thunderdome when it was. Gerard Gallant has to be on the short list under consideration for the Jack Adams Award as the NHL's Coach of the Year for the job that he has done with these Panthers. But those of us who know him well remember him at the conclusion of his career after close to a decade of skating with the Detroit Red Wings and being Steve Yzerman's line mate. The heart that he brought here in the brief time he was here, Rick and Chief, and earlier today he was remembering finally his days as a member of this organization. He said one of the highlights was going out on the golf course with Bobby the Chief Taylor after the skate each and every day. But he's done a great job for the Cats.
He played his dues too. He had a short stint as the head coach in Columbus, but he coached in junior a lot of years and did very well there.
Back he had Huberdeau on his junior team. Here's Drouin. spinning away from Kopetsky. He'll take on Campbell. Ekblad chasing down the puck. Stiffed by Boyes, but not out. Boyle able to hold it in. We played 7.5 here in the third period. Lightning tying it up a minute and a half into the third period. The goal by Kucherov. Here's Boyes. He's got time to load up. The shot blocked by Carl.
Can't give that blue line away that easily. He walked in right to the top of the circles. That's a scary spot to score from.
Aaron Ekblad fires it off the stick of Schuster. Barberio sails it into his own bench. He'll play it off the boards and back to center ice. Tonight's code of the game is logo. Visit LightningFanRewards.com and enter tonight's code in the Game Day Challenge section. Win tickets, gear, or earn points through trivia, polls, predictions, and so much more. That's LightningFanRewards.com. Log on now.
Faceoff circle was controlled by the Lightning in that first period. When they had 65%, but boy, that second period was all Florida. They ended up, it's a 50-50 in that area right now.
Gabe Canaveral represented tonight here at Amalie Arena.
Chief, I didn't know you were tight with astronauts.
Puck centered on in front. Quick shot by Boyes. That was deflected away by Steven Stamkos. Trocheck out to the point. Petrovic keeps it alive, and Jokinen tried to slip a tricky pass in front. Boyle ends up with a puck, starts it ahead. Lead pass for Stamkos. It was in tight on him. Petrovic playing it back. And the play chopped in now by Killorn. Kulikov giving it now to Huberdeau. And the swing around Schuster on the backhand. Stopped by Vasilevsky, and the rebound ends up behind the net. Jonathan Huberdeau creating something once again. Barkov turning, firing, missing the net. Willie Mitchell down the boards. He finds Huberdeau. Gonna lose Victor Hedman. Huberdeau losing it now to Killorn. Mitchell holding it in for the Panthers. Gets it back, he'll fire, and it's over the shoulder of Vasilevsky. Branson in behind for Huberdeau. Belted there by Hedman, who backed into him. Still, he's able to tap it in front of on net. Barkov around the goal. To the point, Branson firing it. Stopped by Vasilevsky. Stretches to make a save of the rebound. Still, the Panthers have it. Jagr wheeling and dealing. His shot blocked by Stamkos, who's been out there quite a while. Jagr with a puck. And it's broken up by Schuster. Held in, though, by Branson. Huberdeau once again gave it up to Hedman. Held in, scuffed by Branson, and here comes Callahan. Does he have enough to apply a little pressure there? They'll finally pull back at a change. Brandon Peary takes the pass. He is stopped in his tracks by Tyler Johnson. Hold on with it. Swings it against Petrovic. He closed him out. Kucherov comes by for it. Fights Johnson, chipping it in front. And it was fumbled away by Luongo. Carl, now to Palat. Back to Carl from the angle. Cutting in. Couldn't finish the move. Johnson fires wide. And Garrison back down the boards. Boy, we've seen some very entertaining offensive forays at both ends of the ice tonight.
Yeah, much more confident Florida team. Even though they won that last meeting in Sunrise, they hung on in that third period. That hasn't been the case here tonight. This is for the next entertaining third period. Both teams have really been able to control that offensive zone when they do get in there.
And Huberdeau line to be reckoned with every time in the offensive zone, creating opportunity after opportunity.
Huberdeau born, I believe, in 1993. Jagr already a veteran in the league. It looks like they're the same age. And Huberdeau plays well beyond his years. Barberio back to the puck. Strawman quickly getting it to Brown. Taken away. Campbell on the steal. Turning. Finds Boyes. Gets it under control. By that time, Vasilevsky had shut him off. Puck centered for Kopetsky. Attacking the play, Ekblad, but skillfully gets it out. Lead pass for Campbell. Stepping in. Dropping it for Brad Boyes. Back for Brian Campbell. Taken over by Schuster. 8:18 to go in a rapidly moving third period. Lightning have come from behind to tie this game at 3. Here's Boyce centering. Taken to the slot. Oh, stopped there by Vasilevsky on the try by Jokinen.
What a save.
Jokinen with it. Holding off Stamkos. Sliding into the corner. Trocheck after it. Ekblad joining the fun down low for the Panthers. Trocheck stick handling through a couple of members of the Lightning. Finally surrenders the puck to Killorn. And Ekblad stepping up. Hedman hanging out to Ryan Callahan. Hedman getting it back. Unable to get it in deep. Barkov from center. To Huberdeau. Gloved away by Garrison. Goodbranson firing it in. Shots are 32-20 Panthers. They've had 10 shots so far in the third period. Lightning busted out. Johnson ahead for Kucherov. From the wing. Slows up. Playing it back. Matt Carl in front. And it's tipped by Johnson, but stopped by Luongo. Side of the net. Deflected out by Huberdeau. Lightning have 3 shots. 10-3 the shots. Favoring the Panthers here in the third.
Well, by Kucherov, they're using his speed to back off the 4 Panther defenders.
Johnson fires in front. Kucherov feeding it back for Carl. He was on his way to the bench. Stralman. Chased by Kopecky. And Carl steps out to center. Pass for Boyle. Little chip pass to himself. He fights off a check. Cuts it. Backhander hits the back of the goal. Scotty Upshall checked in there by Nemestikov. Kopecky can't get it out. Nemestikov hanging in there. Dmitry Kulikov off the glass support. Comes to Nemestikov. Fires. Blocked. And it comes back to McKenzie. Couldn't clear it out. Stralman shooting, and it's deflected by Petrovic. This time out of play into the netting. 6:12 to go. Chance for all of us to catch our breath. Big stop by Vasilevsky. Your Tampa Bay area BMW centers want to remind you to tune in Thursday night. The Lightning hosting the Nashville Predators right here in Amalie Arena. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. with Lightning Live pregame. The Bolts and the Preds Thursday night on Sun Sports.
Well, that meeting up in Nashville, Pekka Rinne was an outstanding in that game.
And a tough loss for the young netminder of the Lightning, Andrei Vasilevsky, in that one, losing in overtime 3-2. Steven Stamkos wins the face-off. Back to Stralman. Into Killorn. Muscled there by Goodbranson. Stralman holding his ground, doing a great job. They finally get it free. Play backed up by Hedman. And it's tipped to the corner by Killorn. They'll meet up with Goodbranson once again. Stamkos in there. Killorn gets it free. Hedman lining up the shot. Wristing a knockdown, and it's taken right from the front of the net by Barkov. Out for Huberdeau. Media timeout gives Gallant a chance to get this line on once again. Jagr meets up with Stamkos. Callahan playing it ahead. Here's Killorn on the rush. Victor Hedman. Hedman waiting. Both teams changing. Kucherov couldn't hold the pass. Huberdeau handing it off to Barkov. Here's Campbell in the zone. Back to Jagr, firing a save by Vasilevsky.
Wow, this was the time when the Lightning got caught in a bad change, and that allowed that 3-on-2 to happen. They were trying to get players out there. They backed off. Quick shot from the slot by Jagr. Didn't look like he got every bit of it, but nonetheless, it was a dangerous area to get that shot away from.
Both teams exchanged chances a little bit, and the veteran Jagr getting a shot off, and Victor Hedman with a pass. Kucherov just bouncing over his stick.
Jagr now 12th in games played, alone in that category, and that shot floats in on Vasilevsky. Had to make a right pad save. Jagr at 1,541 career games. Johnson speeding after Campbell. Petrovic out on the wing for Boyes. Pass deflected in the air by Kucherov. Comes back to Garrison.
That hit him in the helmet, didn't it, Chris?
It did.
Gallant with it across the line. Johnson's open. Shoots. Save Luongo as he came well out to take away the angle. Puck drops behind Carl to center. Boy, big moment in this third period right there. Tyler Johnson versus Roberto Luongo. Palat takes a hit. Campbell with a puck. Tipped out by Brandon Peary. And Barberio with his foot speed able to come across and get to that puck. He missed on the connection there with Nemestikov. It ends up an icing called against the Lightning.
Well, Lightning haven't had a lot of shots, but they've had some pretty good opportunities. This one here by Johnson. Watch it come in there and just get the top of his blocker. And had he come across, straight across rather than come out a little bit, that would have been past the blocker and in the net. But he came out as he came across, and that he was able to make the save.
Roberto Luongo said, "Fool me once, but fool me twice."
Boyle gets it out. Nemestikov hustling after that puck, and they're able to slow up the Panthers a little bit, though the Lightning were offside. And Florida able to play it back down the ice. Barberio hurries after it. Rolling puck. Taken away by Perry. He lost it to Schuster. Boyle. Hopefully able to reach back for that puck. Back to Boyle. It fired right back out by Ekblad. Nemestikov re-enters and the play's whistled offside. 3:36 to go. Third period. Hard-fought battle. 3 apiece.
You see the time and score remaining in regulation. It's time now to take a look at tonight's Diamond Performance presented by Ackerman Jewelers, and it's the tying goal by Nikita Kucherov, picking up that puck from off the glass and then wrapping it around past Roberto Luongo, who scored his 27th of the year at 1:30 of this period to tie this game at 3. That's our Diamond Performance presented by Ackerman Jewelers.
Crowd of 18,729 enjoying the action here with the Lightning and Panthers going at it. Here's Steven Stamkos in the Panther zone. Callahan over for the puck. Out to Anton Stralman. Working with Hedman. Lets the shot go, and it's handled by Luongo. And Stamkos up close having a word or two with Bobby Lou.
You know, when he did miss those games, it really kind of gave him a rest, and he was talking about that when he came back and has played 2 games since, or before this one. He did say that he was rested even though it was an injury. He still got some rest, and he feels really fresh and raring to go this stretch run for the playoffs.
And just what they need. Al Montoya is set to come back from a groin injury soon. Former Lightning netminder Dan Ellis backs up. And he's done an outstanding job with both goalies injured. Actually injured the same game.
We weren't sure who was going to play in net. Luongo ended up coming back.
Had you been there, Chris, you could have realized that lifelong dream of being a goalie.
First time I tried to butterfly, I would have pulled both my groins. And maybe the name of that.
Strawman's shot fended off by Luongo. Callahan in quite a struggle there with Mitchell. Hedman reaching out, poking that puck, holding it in. The try by Stamkos, looking for a friendly stick near that net. Killorn in behind to Callahan. Callahan steps in front, shoots, scores! Luongo can't believe it. 2:28 to go in the third. Lightning lead it 4-3.
What a move by Callahan. Great pressure by this line, though. They were very determined in keeping the pressure in there. The defense kept it in line there, but you see Luongo, watch as he comes out, he kind of flattens in the net, which opens up that far side. That's where Callahan puts it away. His 22nd of the year. The Lightning have regained the lead here with 2:28 remaining in regulation.
Big-time move by a big-time player. Waiting the veteran Luongo. Callahan with the snapshot.
Back in that Panther zone, one-on-one with Aaron Ekblad back to Garrison. Lightning back in front now. They were up 2-0 in the first. Panthers scoring 3 times in a little under 2 minutes in the second to take the lead. The Lightning have worked hard to get back in front, and they've got that lead here late with 2 minutes to go in the third period. Carl has it. Killorn, Stamkos get the assist. It's loose side of the goal. Vasilevskiy Dvorsky trying to cover it. It's still loose in front. Popped away, though, by Palat. Campbell playing it back to Barkov. Here comes Yager. Forced behind the net by Garrison. And Garrison muscles that puck away to Nemestikov. Good effort by Jason Garrison right there. He's looking to change. So the Panthers lead pass to Boyle. They'll fire. Saved by Luongo. The whistle blows.
Let's take another look at that lead goal right now. And what a really nice set of hands. Watch how he plays it out. Comes in here. Gets it right. And it actually has gone through Luongo, right under his glove, between his glove and his pant.
They'll have the 6-hole, don't they?
Yeah.
A lot of guys panic when they come around the net. Ryan Callahan has shown time after time that he's got that patience. He can make a quick move or wait the goaltender out.
Panthers timeout here with 1:28 to go. Faceoff, though, is in the Florida zone, so they can't pull Luongo just yet. Let's check in with Paul.
Hey, Rick, Chief, as the Bolts take to the road this weekend to open up that 5-game trip, there will be football played inside Emily. The goalposts go up. The Hall of Famer Derek Brooks was on Lightning Live before our game this evening with Michelle Gingras, the president of the Tampa Bay Storm. They kick off the Arena League season on Friday night. The Cleveland Gladiators are here. They advanced to the Arena Bowl championship game a year ago. 7:30 hour kickoff in a brand new season of the Storm inside Emily.
Thanks very much, Paul. The action never stops inside Emily Arena. Always exciting when a new season gets underway in the Tampa Bay Storm. Great winning heritage. The Lightning win their 8th straight face-off, but the Panthers come away with a puck. And Luongo going to the bench as Hedman fires that puck back to center ice. 6 skaters on. Empty net behind those Panthers out there as the Lightning have the 4-3 lead. And it's played off the glass back through center. Mitchell has to backtrack.
It bounced off the referee, too. I hit Paul Dvorsky was kind of cushioned it a little bit.
Vasilevsky out to hold that puck. He'll play it back around. Under a minute to go. Panthers keep it on the boards around to the ever-dangerous Jonathan Huberdeau. And Hedman rushed him there before he could get things organized. Hedman with the puck. Handing it now to Killorn. He'll just flip it out. Campbell with 41 seconds circling. Yager barrels up that left side, trying to make his move to the net. Stripped to the puck by Killorn and Schuster. Stamkos, a tricky little play. Trying to get it to an outlet. And the Panthers trying to hold it in deep. Ekblad does just that. Huberdeau with a pass off the back of the goal. Barkov there. Back to Campbell with 18 seconds. Across to Ekblad. Keeps it around the perimeter. Looking for Perry. And Campbell now 9 seconds. They got to shoot it here at some point. Perry couldn't get the pass. Set it in front. Taken by Killorn. Work to the corner. Campbell playing it behind to Barkov. He set it out in front. And time runs out. And the Tampa Bay Lightning come from behind in the 3rd period. Win this game 4-3. And tie a franchise record with their 46th win in a single season. They've still got 8 games remaining. A comeback win. The Lightning have done it many times in the 3rd period when they protected leads. But they come from behind tonight. Ryan Callahan with a winner. We've got more in just a moment.